So I have this story, and this was like, I would say maybe like 2015. 2015, because my cousin was turning 15. She was born in 2000. So in 2015, she would have been 15, and it was her 15 that she was having.
That shit's weird.
And she had this 15. She had it someplace like back home in like Rockford or whatever. And I invited my best friend. And it was cool. Like, it was fun. But we were there, and we were like, damn, like, let's smoke. Like, let's try to find some people that like have some or like whatever. So
Wait,
like
you and your cousin?
me and my friend, me and my
your
best friend. And we were like, fuck, like, I don't know, like who here would smoke, right? So
Which one of my Theos?
no, like people just like guests or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I knew that like some of the the kids or whatever were like our age or like around our age. So we found some kids, like some fucking, oh my God. They were like, we went to high school together, but like they were like a year or two younger than us. And like we were just looking around like who would smoke. So like we just like stood around, and we were like, no, like they wouldn't, or like they wouldn't know like where to pick up right now, or like this and that. And we found these guys, and we're like, oh, these guys for sure.
Do you guys like walk around and shit, or
yeah, like we were like inside, and like we walked outside to see who was coming in and stuff, and like we saw those guys, and we're like, we're pretty sure like they would, right? But like we didn't really fuck with them like that. Like they were cool, but like we didn't fuck with them. And we're just like, fuck it, like we're just trying to smoke, right? So we're just like, okay, like we went up to him, and like we were like, hey guys, and it's like, is these two guys, and they were like idiots, dude. They're just like really dumb. And then we were just like, hey, like, are you guys trying to smoke? And they were like, oh shit, like, yeah. And we were like, okay. But like, I mean, my friend didn't give a shit because like she was my guest, and like her parents didn't go. But like it was my family, so like my parents were there. So like if I were to disappear for like a certain period, like they'd be like, where are you, or like whatever. So I was super nervous. I was low-key bugging, because I was like, someone's gonna know, or like what if we come back and we smell and like whatever. So I was like, no, I mean, like we've been like walking around and stuff, and like my parents haven't seen me, and they haven't like called, so, and I've been here, so like it's okay, right? And I was like telling my friend, like, you know what, like let's just smoke, it'll be quick, like whatever. So we were down, and the guy was like, yeah, for sure, like let's ride around or whatever. And we were like, okay, bet.
Do you know this guy?
We know the two guys. They were just younger than us. We went
like
to high
part
school.
of the family? Oh,
no, they were just like
okay.
like acquaintances, I guess, because like everyone went to school together. And yeah, so we get into the car, and they start packing it, whatever. Like we're just kind of like sitting in the back, like chilling, right? Yeah. But like I don't know Rockford that well, just because like I didn't grow up there. I grew up in Belvedere, and so like I'm sure they knew the streets more than I did or whatever. So we just started driving around, and the place that we went to, like for the 15, like I didn't know where it was, and they knew. So like I trusted, like they knew like we would get back, whatever. And me and my friend, like we never really smoked with other people. We would only smoke like together or like with our friends. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why we were like sketched out, because we were like, I don't know like how we feel about like smoking with other people, but like we're just trying to smoke, like it's fine, right? So we're like, it's chill. So we're sitting in the back, and like they're like rolling up, whatever, and like we're passing it around. But like I said before, like these kids, like they're idiots, like like they were smoking, but like they were also getting like too high, where they would like start swerving. And me and my friend were like, oh my God, like we're gonna fucking die. Like we're smoking, we're getting pretty high, and we're like, oh my God, like, and they would like they just had like their different type of humor, and like that's why we felt like it was awkward. Like, fuck, like this is so weird, like smoking with other, like this is why we don't smoke with other people, because like this shit's kind of awkward. But it was good, because like we were both in the backseat. We didn't have to like look at them in the face, right? And yeah, so they started like swerving everywhere and like laughing and stuff. And we're like, fuck, like we're literally just trying to go back because like this is too much, right? Like we're not gonna make it back. And this like one of the guys like hit like the driver like hit a bump or something, and like the blunt, or I think it was a blunt, like ashed on the seat on accident. I was like, oh shit. And like, I don't think the seats were black. Like, I think they were like a
Was it
lighter
his
color.
car?
Yeah, it was his car. And I'm like looking at my friend, she sees, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, and we're both like dying laughing, but like they can't like hear us. And we're like, fuck. And I'm like trying to wipe it off.
Oh,
And
you guys dropped it.
yeah, like I
Oh,
dropped the
okay.
ash like on the seat, and I was like, fuck, like what do I
Oh
do? I
my
know.
god.
I'm like, fuck, like I'm just trying to go back now. And
Mhm.
like I don't think it was too noticeable. Like I like cleaned it out, you know, like I whatever you call it. Like I wiped it off. And yeah, so then we eventually we were like telling the guys like, yeah, like let's go back, right? And like they're just driving around, but eventually we make it back and we're like, let's dip, like let's
Uh,
go back inside or whatever. And the guys were like, haha, like all chilling and stuff. And I think my parents were like outside. Or like I think either my parents or like some of my family members were outside. So like if they would have seen me like hop out of the car with like some guys or whatever, like looking like
shit was gonna go
yeah,
down.
like I was so scared, but nothing ended up happening. I just told my friend like, let's fucking go inside. Let's ditch these guys because they're
And you
fucking
don't smell at
weird.
this point or anything? Like your
I
eyes
don't even
aren't. 'Cause
remember.
do your eyes get red?
I don't think so.
No, right?
But I was like younger then, so I was like, what the fuck? I was so scared. And then we go inside and like we're just like, let's
The
ignore
cha-cha
them.
slide is playing.
No, the Caballo Dorado song. No, but yeah, that was super scary. But I was like, let's fucking leave these guys because like that shit's weird. And then me and my friend laugh about it to this day because we're like, oh, like why would we do that? But it was fun, funny games.
Hey, young America, we need to talk about something called grass. Not that grass. I'm talking about marijuana.
It's stimulating, mind expanding.
I know when the Caballo Dorado comes out, you're out there. You're the first one out there.
Stop! No, not the. Oh, Caballo Dorado, yes, but Payaso de Rodeo
Yeah,
is
the
the
fa-
fast
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I can't do. I get too embarrassed like if I fuck it up. So like I don't do that one.
Did you guys ever? So like, for us, it was awkward to go out and dance in front of our family. Did you?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So like, at like quinces and shit, we like my brothers and I just. I don't want to say we just sat there, but we kind of just sat there, or like we just hanging out with our cousins or whatever the situation is. But like we were never ones to like go out and actually dance because then our parents would like say something. You know what
They
I mean?
would say something
They
like
wouldn't like. They would just like make.
they would
fun.
like clown you a little
Right,
bit.
right. And so like ever since then, I'm just like fuck that. Like I'm not dancing for shit. And then in high school, I joined the club, and I was dancing in the club.
You joined? What do you mean? Oh, like now you dance?
So they
what you're
have
saying?
like right, they have ethnic clubs. Did you guys had ethnic clubs, didn't you? I think we talked about this already.
No, not ethnic club.
Yeah, so we had ethnic clubs like Guatemalan club, which is what I was part of. Aslan, and like a bunch of like Ecuadorian, you know, like just a bunch of other ethnicities, and they all formed their own club. And then for like 4 to 6 months, everyone practices on a routine, and then they come perform it on I days, international days. So it's
What?
so everybody who's in a club gets excused from classes for 2 days, and because you're in the gym all day, basically just doing this routine over and over for
Oh, that's kinda
everybody else in the
cool.
school who comes and watches you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just chilling in the gym the entire day for 2 days, and then for one night, that's like when parents' night, and like that's when they come and like watch their kids on stage.
Oh, and your parents went?
And my parents went, yeah,
Did your brothers go or no?
probably like 1 year. I did it for like
Mhm.
2 years, maybe 3. I can't remember, but that was a new experience. That was fun.
Did they record it?
There's YouTube videos.
Stop. I'm going to go and find
You're not
them.
gonna be able to find it. You're not gonna be able to find it.
Watch.
The one that I always watched, I believe, is taken down. So I don't know if you'd be able to find that one, but there might be like one little loose one here and there. But I don't think you'd be
You
able to
made
find it.
sure they were gone.
There's for sure a quince video of me though.
Ew.
Well, from when I was
You were a
actually
chambelán
15.
for hire. One of
What
my
is the
boys
name?
was that.
What is the name of that group?
I don't know.
There's like a big one that like people usually go for like chambelanas.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
like
know that.
Angie's Dancers or some shit like that. It's like a big group, dude. Big
No
group.
way. I didn't know
Mhm.
that.
You said your cousin was part of it?
No, one of my boys. He was like he would say that like he would have to like dance for quinces and stuff. And I'd be like, oh, cool, I guess. Like if they make money, I think.
Dude, they pay well. They pay well.
Dang.
Usually for the quinceañeras who, didn't have chambelanas.
But like, what would be the various reasons why you don't have chambelanes? Like like you don't have guy friends or enough guy friends, Or
One, your parents want to impress other people
oh, that's
with
facts.
the dance. You want to impress other people with the dance.
Oh, okay. Imagine like the chambelanes are good as fuck, and then like you like suck at dancing.
That's usually what happens. That's usually what happens. The chambelanas are dancing all around the quinceañera, and the quinceañera is just standing there just watching the dancers dance, and she's doing her little like two-step, and
That's
the
so
chambelanas are doing
awkward.
everything, and then they come and like lift her up every once in a while, and like that's it.
Dude, I know for a lot of cases for like quinceañeras, they don't let the parents don't let the boyfriends be like the chambelán de honor because they're just like, well, look, what if you guys break up one day, and like you don't want to look back on your pictures and be like, what the fuck?
So that's actually what happened to me when I was that age, 15.
Ew, you're the scummy boyfriend.
Oh, dude, that's how it feels. That's literally how it feels. Like, why aren't you the one dancing? You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel
That's
like
how it
people
feels.
understand.
And then you have to like tag along the whole day, but you're sitting out the whole day because they're the ones in the
yeah,
photos and shit. Bro, it's so awkward. Because I was for 2 years? Maybe 3 years. I took photos of quinceañeras for like 2 to 3 years. And like that's what I did. I don't want to say full time, but like every other weekend I would go do that.
Right.
And oh my god, bro, it never gets better. Honestly, it never gets better. It's always as awkward as the first one.
You were the guy like flashing the lights in front and like in everyone's faces.
Oh, dude,
Oh
I
my
hated
God.
that. You know how much I hated going to tables and like while everyone's eating too, and like getting photo this and that. Like
Oh
get
my
together.
gosh. So I did that when my parents got married. They renewed their vows in Mexico like a couple years ago. And like I have a camera and my dad was like, oh, like go around and take pictures of everyone. And I'm like, why don't you just like tell them like, hey, like line up and like,
Yeah,
we can take
that's the
pictures if you
easiest
want.
way to do it,
But he's like,
right?
no, like we don't want them to like get up or anything. Like, and I'm like, what? You're just gonna have a bunch of pictures of people sitting at a table?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like it was so awkward. I didn't want to do it,
Dude,
but I
that's the
did,
worst.
and I was like, ugh.
You know those TikToks where they just come into the room and like, oh look who we have here, or like someone just like sitting there, like not doing their work or some shit, and they take out a camera and just like say cheese, and they get your ass just sitting there.
No, I haven't seen those.
I'm pretty sure I've sent you one of these.
What?
Yeah, they just come in and like it's like they're like pretending to like be a tour guide. They're like, okay, look, not over here in this next exhibit. Here we have someone not doing their work, like they're avoiding their work. Everyone like please be quiet. Take your photos if you want to. And then it's just like 3-4 people pass by with like cameras.
No,
You've never seen that?
No.
I'm gonna send you one. They don't pop up anymore, but I
Oh
think it was
my
like a
God.
trend. But
That's so funny.
that's how it feels though. That shit sucks.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Dude, the Insta guy still owes me like $600.
Fuck him. You should go knock on his door. Keep my money, bitch.
See, I don't think I've told you about this. So I feel bad because I have the pictures from the quinceañeras, but like, let me explain. Because like I knew he was always like that. Like he wouldn't pay me like upfront. So I was like, all right, well, you're not gonna get the photos until you get the money.
Right, like I feel like that's very standard.
Right. And because it was hundreds of photos, it's not just a couple, it's hundreds.
Right.
And so I was like, well, you're not going to get it until you send me the money. Like, just send me the money. It's not that hard. And he was doing the most to just avoid and not send me the money. And eventually I heard that he got sent to
Jail.
court.
Oh shit.
I mean, it's a little less worse than jail, but yeah, I went to court. And one of the families were suing him because like he didn't give them what they paid for basically.
Oh,
So he had
shit.
the money. He was being paid already by the families.
Right.
He just
Didn't want to pay. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wonder, wait, is it that specific family that sent him to court, or like it was just like a
Not
different
sure.
one?
I'm sure it was several, to be
Oh
honest. Yeah.
shit.
This man always had quinces going on.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like, I can't imagine now all those businesses are probably failing, you know? Because no
What-
one's having quinces right now.
Oh yeah. It's a lot like florists and like I mean it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like the same as like a wedding, but it's like the same
Damn
branch,
near.
you know?
Yeah.
Dang. I never had a quince.
Would you have wanted one?
I don't think so. Cause like when did I turn 15? I don't remember. But no, like my parents, like I don't think they even like mentioned like, oh, like do you want a quince? Like I just had like a regular birthday. You know what? Like I think they took my friends and I to like Pizza Hut or something. I think that's what happened.
You get the stuffed crust. I love Pizza Hut
I
stuffed
don't
crust.
even remember.
Did any of your sisters have a quince?
My older sister had like she had like a little quince, but it was like more of like a birthday party, but like in the park, you know. But she did have a dress, like a quince dress, but there was no like dance, like vals. I think there's like she danced with my dad or whatever, but it was just like family and like her friends. And, like that was it. It was like a regular thing. And then my little sister, she didn't have one either, but I think like years later. Or maybe, I don't know, because like we went to Mexico and my family over there found out that she didn't have a quince, and they were like, oh my God, like why? Like this and that. And like it was going to be like her birthday was coming up, and it might have been for like her 16th birthday. They were like, oh, we're going to give you like a little quince, like birthday party. And I mean, she didn't have a dress or anything, but they gave her like la muñeca and like just shit like that. And it was like for her to have like at least a quince or like something like that. I'm like, yeah, fuck me, right? I'll just go to Pizza Hut.
You want a quince? We could throw you a quince.
No, I
We'll
don't.
throw you a quince.
No, but
We're gonna order you
cool.
the dancers.
ew, you're gonna Angie's chip. Oh my god,
Dude, they're
that's so
like
funny.
Angie's Angels, like something like that.
Oh, they're like a big organization. Fuck.
Bro, it's big.
That
It's
shit
huge.
is so funny. Like I remember when I was 15 and like all the girls were turning 15, so like it would literally be like almost like a party hop, you know? Like every weekend there was like a quince and like me and my friend, like my best friend, we'd be like, "Oh, like whose quince is it now?" Like, "Oh, let's go." Like either one of us got invited and like we would just go, like we would
That's
just pull
cool.
up, right? And they were pretty fun. It was fun because like I would tell my parents like, "Oh, I'm going to this quince," and they'd be like, "Oh, okay." But so like it was like I didn't go with my parents, so I was like,
Wasn't that so weird?
Yeah,
Because that was like
no.
the first time.
yeah,
was that like the
but
first
like
time
it
for
was
you where
fun.
that happened?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun because like we would just like fuck around and like I have so
And
many
go into
stories.
cars with guys and smoke.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Now that you say like that, it sounds like really bad, but it was really fun because we would just like we would like link up with like people and stuff, and it'd be cool.
It was cool, dude. It was like the first taste of freedom.
Yeah.
I felt like that. Did you ever go to malls?
What?
I think about that today. Like, did you go to malls as a kid?
Yeah. I mean, like before I started working at one, I would go to malls, but they were way more popping back then. Like, not now. Like, that's lame, but
I look at it now and I can't believe my parents used to drop my ass off there at like.
they feel like, oh, I don't have to babysit Jason. Like, let's just take him to the mall.
Dude, I'd be like 13. That's just so ugly. And then they give you like a $20 bill. And you go to Hot Topic. Spend it away.
Ew. Did you go to Hot Topic, though?
Okay, so I was having this conversation. So I'm not gonna lie. I forgot who I was having this conversation for. I think it was you. We were talking about the OVO bracelets thing.
No,
Like the
Weren't they like the
back in the day, it was
boobies
like,
bracelets?
it was what?
wasn't it the boobies bracelets?
It was that. It was. This was during the time when like Young Money was Young Money.
Stop.
When like Drake was coming, was like, you know, that was like the prime for Drake. I mean, it still is prime, but you know, it's like prime Drake.
Yeah.
So he had his what was that song? YOLO, that
Yeah.
song. So that was coming out. So like that, like Hot
Stop
Topic had all that stuff, and like one bracelet cost like $14. And
They were expensive. Like, for fucking what? Oh, my God.
dude, even back then, that's a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
for a fucking bracelet. But so not gonna lie, I bought one, and because that was during my whole Young Money like Lil Wayne phase. Don't
Stop.
play with me, bro. I know you had one of these too. We
Of
had this
course I
conversation
did.
before.
Come on, dude. The Carter 4, bro. That was my shit. Oh my god, that was my shit.
Nah, the Carter 3. The Carter 3.
Like, wasn't the Carter 4 the one with like the
I
the
think it was like
red?
Gonorrhea. Like that was like the first song.
Yeah, I think so.
No. That was I'm Not a Human Being.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
It had a red cover on it.
Red of graduation gown, right?
Yeah.
White background.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Yeah.
Carter 4.
That was such a good one. I remember my friend. This is an episode just about her because we did some stupid shit. But it's like the same friend that went with me to the quinces. She had she really wanted to buy the album, and like I bought the CD, right? But like I bought it like the explicit version because like fuck it, why not? And like she had to buy the clean version because her dad wouldn't let her like listen to it like in the car. So she had to get like the clean version.
I didn't
of
know
it.
they sold clean versions of like CDs like that.
I think like
Wow.
I think they had to. Because imagine like it's just a whole other like stream of revenue for like
Yeah.
albums, you know.
And all they have to do is take out a couple of words and like
Right.
blend it well. Yeah, you're right. Damn. Not gonna lie, I think the Carter 4 was the last Lil Wayne album
Before
I bought.
that you bought.
Yeah, because I had all of them. This is like the first memory I have of me collecting anything or like actually saving up money to buy stuff. It was the Lil Wayne albums or just albums in general. I had like Lupe's. Remember Lupe's album Lasers?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever listen to Lupe Fiasco?
Not really.
So I had his album and then like Drake's and whatnot. But yeah, Lil Wayne's had every album up to the Carter 4. After then, that's when I think that's when like high school happened, and I probably started listening to some other music. But before high school, that's literally all I listened to was just Lil Wayne. It was ugly.
It was not ugly.
It was a little.
It was
ugly.
definitely a vibe. Like going back to the malls. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh my god, it was like the whole like was it Wiz Khalifa?
Dude.
Like
that
in
was-
middle school to
yeah.
high school.
Mhm.
Fuck, oh my god. I'm not gonna lie. I had one of the Wiz Khalifa shirts from Hot Topic, and I would wear it all the time. It was like I know you know which one I'm talking about because it was like the black one that said "Taylor Gang or Die" in like
You
big,
had that
in
shirt
the
on?
big yellow letters. I was the
Your
shit.
parents let you walk around with that?
What the fuck were they gonna say? Like, what does it say?
No, because it's black and yellow. That's why.
Yeah, I feel like that didn't really matter. That didn't matter anymore in school. Like before, like I remember like in middle school, like that was a big thing. Like you can't wear stuff like that. But like we're in high school now. We're big kids. But no, it didn't matter. And then the boobies bracelet, I think I had like a blue one. This is another story about my friend. She had a pink boobies bracelet and in like one of her classes like the teacher like took it away because like we couldn't wear those, and it was in middle school, and like they took it away and they're like, oh, like you can get it back. Like I don't even know if they said like you can get it back or like you cannot get it back ever. And she like told her mom, and her mom was pissed because like she paid for it, you know. So like I think either I don't know if she like called or like went in and was like, what the fuck, like give me the bracelet back. And I don't think she ever got it back, which was like some bullshit.
Dude, schools are so like
They're
they're
so
so grimy for shit
stupid.
like that because they would
That's what I'm
yeah
saying.
they would take it away and
Like
they just
for
wouldn't get it
phones
back
and stuff,
Yeah.
when like they would take phones away, like I feel like some kids never saw them again.
That's just bogus. So what did you end up doing? Just buying a new one?
I don't remember if she bought a new one or not, but I think she never got it back. So
Can you imagine how kids like now can a teacher ask to get your phone taken away? Like can they ask you for your phone today?
don't know.
In school?
I don't know. Let me just go back to high school and see.
Because I would think that at this point everyone has a phone. Like maybe like high school freshman year was the first time I ever had a phone.
My little cousin has a phone, and
That's what
she's
I'm
like
saying.
in elementary school. Like for what?
That's what I'm saying. So like I don't know if because they're so popular now, like do a lot of teachers just choose not to take them away, or do they choose maybe to like integrate them into like this into the program? So like if they have a question, they'll be like, you guys can look this up on your phone if you have any questions.
Let me get the fancy ashtray. Thanks. I don't know. I don't know if they can do that, but I think it's stupid.
Because I'm sure like some parent probably argued saying that like you can't take my kid's phone away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And now it's like some rule everywhere. Like if you take a kid's phone away, you're going to go to fucking teacher jail or whatever and get fired and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if like that's changed anything, but
Who knows? Because I feel like teachers could get away with like a shit ton of more stuff than like they do now. You know what I'm saying? Terrible. There's this one like I think she was like only a counselor. Like I don't think she was like a teacher. She was a bitch. Like, oh my God. Like she was such a bitch. And like this was in middle school. So like she would dress code girls for everything all day, every day. Like it was like it was her fucking job to just go around and like stare at girls. Like what the fuck?
yeah, shit was weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like I knew this girl that she would always get into it with her, and like her mom would always get into it with the counselor.
I love those kids.
And like they just had like a beef for like the whole 3 years of middle school. They had like the biggest beef. And like the girl would show up with like spaghetti straps or like tank tops or whatever, or like it was like t-shirts that were like they weren't tank tops, but the arm thingies like they were a little like small, but they weren't like full sleeves.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
it was
mean.
almost like a half cut, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a tank top. Like shit like that, or like the shorts, like your shorts would be too short, like shit like that. And she'd be like, "Dude, like get off my dick! Like what the fuck is wrong with you?" And the mom would come in and like literally sometimes like after school, like you would see the girl's mom like pull up and like go into the office or whatever. And we're like, fuck. They were into it like all the time. Fuck her though.
That shit's so annoying, bro.
Yeah.
Like that
She's the worst.
that really upsets you that much to the point where like you have to walk around and like that's all you're doing all day.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're gonna tell me that shit it doesn't get tiring?
Oh my God. Middle school was like good years though. I liked middle school.
Middle school was, dude,
was way more
that's where all my
fun.
friends are from middle school.
Same.
Definitely the ones who like the 15 to 20-year friends, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
love them.
did you only go to one elementary school?
No, I went to a couple.
What's a couple, like 2 or 3?
I went like 3 or 4.
Why? You guys kept on moving?
No, I had to keep on moving because my sister, I think I explained this before, like my sister had to be in like ELL classes.
Yo, yeah.
And they only like provided those in like certain schools, and they didn't want her to go by her fucking self, so they're just like, okay, you go too. And I'm like, what the fuck can I say? It's like, okay. But yeah, I went to a couple schools and I met like kids from like every school. So when we got to middle school, I was like, oh, like I know basically almost all these kids.
So the middle
you know?
school was a building by itself.
Yeah.
And it was like its own school. Like it wasn't connected to the other ones.
No.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Like it was just like a separate school for like the 3 years. Like all the elementary schools were like around town. But yeah, and it was like separate from the high school too.
So you got there and you just knew everybody already.
Mm-hmm. I knew a lot of kids, but I didn't like. I wasn't gonna be like, hey, like remember me? Like no, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, it's cool.
You know, this is the 10 years since the year 10, so 10-year anniversary since we've been in 8th grade. It's because we graduated
What
in
the fuck?
2015.
How do you know this?
Because we were talking about it with my friends the other day.
Dang.
Yeah,
I should have a
2015, bro.
reunion.
No, that was 2011. Right, 2011.
I think
Did
it
you
was like
graduate?
2010.
Did you graduate in 2011 from 8th grade?
Yeah.
Right, because
Yeah,
we're in the same grade.
Because then 2011 was when we started high school, right?
Yeah, in the
or
fall.
maybe not.
Oh yeah, 2011 to 2011 to 2015 is 4 years, and because you graduated high school in
Facts,
2015.
facts. Yeah. I'm
But
bad at
yeah,
math.
so now it's 2021. It's been 10 years since we've been in 8th grade.
Stop. We have to round
Yeah.
out, like round up all our friends and do something.
So that's what we were talking about doing like a reunion type thing. But I don't know if I want to
Oh, that'd be
see
cool.
like necessarily everybody. I think it'd be cool
No,
though.
not everyone. Like your friends. But like, would you invite friends that like you're not really friends with anymore? But like, let's say your friends is still friends with them.
Yes,
You would?
because ran into someone who I went to middle school with, and then like after middle school, I knew nothing about them,
Mm-hmm.
and I ran into them because they work at Potbelly, and I felt bad because I forgot her name. Oh my god,
Oh no.
you know like that when my friend described it perfectly. Like it's not that like you don't remember their name, it's just that like you're just like in shock that this person's in front of you, and it's been so long, so like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what to say,
Right.
and so I forgot her name, and we started catching up because it's been 10 years, and we were just saying like, damn, she just sounds like interesting. Like I like to listen to more what you're saying, but I don't want to like take more of your time because obviously like you're working.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure like if she's lived the past 10 years without me knowing her, that's a shit ton of stories that she may have.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like that's just one person out of I don't know how many we graduated with, maybe like I want to say like 80 people, maybe 60 to 100 around there.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's all those people who like I don't even know anymore, but are completely different people. Some people have
Yeah.
kids, some people are married, some people
Went to jail.
went to jail. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that one. But yeah, some people went to jail. You know what I mean? Like some people moved away,
Yeah. Yeah.
whole ass different countries and jobs that we may not even have heard of, but these people have, and like you know what I mean? That shit's so cool.
That's what I'm saying.
So
But I would really want to get my friends together.
like just your main ones?
Yeah, just like my
Okay.
main ones together so we can, I don't know, I don't even know what we would do. Smoke.
Yeah, no, basically that's what we do. But like you guys
I
have
miss
money
them.
now, you know what I mean? Like you have like a car, you can go places, you can go to like do grown up shit, whatever grown up shit is.
Dang. Oh my god. And I haven't really like drank with like all of them.
Yo.
Oh my god. I miss them. I really do. Everyone's out doing their own thing. We catch up every now and then, you know. It was my friend group that I met in like 7th grade, and it was like 5 or 6 of us, and it was like just us, like literally throughout like high school, and it was cool. I miss it.
In middle school, did you guys in your classes, everyone stayed in the same class, but you just went to different classes together do you know what I mean?
Like a block schedule?
Right, so like let's say like my class was Miss McKimson's class. We were like room like 306. Room 306 goes to each subject as one class.
No.
So you stay with the same kids throughout the whole year.
No.
You guys didn't do that? It was more like high school for you guys?
Yeah, like everyone had a different schedule. Like sometimes like it'd be cool, or we had like teams. In middle school we had teams. So like you would get like a group of teachers, but like you still wouldn't get like the same hours like someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now that I think of it, like I don't know how they did that. Like that, I feel like that's so unorganized, but they did that. And like, yeah, sometimes like we were on our teams because like I think the teams got to eat together. Like they had lunch together. So like if you weren't on that team, like you wouldn't eat lunch with like other people, which would suck, you
And
know?
you guys had a lot of teams?
I
Is this,
think we only
sports
had like
and,
3.
other stuff, or what do you mean?
No, like teams, like all the kids in like one grade would be like Team Liberty and like Team something else, and like those kids would travel with like certain teachers. You know what I'm saying?
Like who the fuck comes up with these systems?
I don't fucking know, dude. Disgusting. But yeah, if you weren't like on the same team, like it was like fuck. But if you got the letter in the mail of like your schedule, like it's like August and you're getting your letters in the mail with like your schedule, and you see your team, and like oh my god, like you'd call your friends up, be like I'm
That's
on team
cool.
this.
I didn't
like,
get that feeling till high school.
It was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, you'd get on MySpace. Oh my god, team. But it was really fun. It was fun.
Now that you brought that up, it reminds me. In so we didn't find out to actually the way they did it for us. We found out on the last day of school. So like that's when you got your report card, and on the back of the
Oh.
report card on the bottom, it would tell you which class you're in for next year, and that's how you would know. Like, oh, you're in my class. You're
You
in
would
my
know
class.
for like an entire summer.
Entire summer.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dang. Imagine like knowing like 2 weeks before school starts, like what team you're on, and then you find out the bitch you don't like is on your team too. Instant hands.
Dude, it's happened multiple times.
Exactly.
Because they're thinking about that shit like all summer. You know what I mean? Like if
Mhm.
they found out like, oh, did you hear Stephanie's
Whoever.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Would that ever like escalate to like, oh, fights in the summer?
No, I don't think so. Like our student body, for the most part, was a very non-problematic student body. Um, so I'll come back to that. So like in maybe like this was like years later. I went to go visit maybe like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I went to go visit my teachers again, and they were telling me how like the student body now is just like terrible. Like these kids like don't give like an apps like anything. They don't give a fuck about anything.
Wow. And you thought
And-
like back then with you, like, oh, these kids don't give a fuck. And like now they
Right.
give less.
Mhm.
You know?
And like I can't even imagine now that it's even virtual. But
Mhm.
yeah, like she was saying like no, like the only one kid in here, and she was like, I remember all you guys had like straight A's or A's and B's. Only one kid on here is on an A and B and honor roll. And
Oh, wow.
dude, that broke my heart. I was like, man. And she looked tired. She looked exhausted. She was not having it. And that's how every teacher in that school looks now. And then that just makes me think like our student body wasn't really that problematic as I thought it was.
Mhm.
But we would have like the occasional fight, but it wasn't anything like big.
Mhm.
When we were in 7th grade and the class above us was still there in the middle school, because our middle school only consisted of like 7th and 8th grade.
Mhm.
And so the class above us had more people who were related to gang members, and then like our class didn't.
Mhm.
We had some, but like not a bunch of them, not as much as like the class above us. So when the class above us was here, a lot of kids from the high school who were associated with them would come to our school, and like there would be like lockdown sometimes. They're like,
What the
whatever,
fuck?
because like
Mhm.
they see them walking around outside, like basically waiting for the kids inside our building.
Oh shit.
And so it would get like, yeah, so like sometimes like we'd have to deal with that. But I feel like once that 8th grade graduated and moved on, that's when our school became even less
Populated.
less
with-
dangerous, right?
Okay.
Less dangerous, and it was a good time because we got along with the 7th graders because Jonathan was in the grade below me, so like we all just kind of like knew the same people, and since it was only 7th and 8th grade in the building, and so our school was super tiny. I'm pretty sure if you drove by it, you're probably like, is that school? Like it looks so small.
Which one was that?
It's the one when you're driving down. I don't know about to say my address. and shit.
Okay. Wait, just say the name of the school.
Yeah, fuck it. Stevenson.
No. Oh wait.
Like the Stevenson Middle School, little tiny middle school over there.
No, I didn't see it. Sorry.
Anyways, so like basically everybody knew everybody, and that's
Mhm.
how it was. And so it was very communal. And then and so that's when like less fights broke out.
Mhm.
It was just like more like stupid petty fights. Like I saw a lot of stupid petty fights, but when it came to like big fights in the summer and stuff like that, like nah, not really. Maybe there was like one here and there, but nothing too
Mhm.
crazy.
Dang.
But with you guys, there was a lot of fights.
I feel like looking back, there was like quite a bit of fights, and I think it's funny how like, as the years went by, like, oh, do you remember that fight? Like, which one? And you would say like between this person and this person, but they would have like multiple fights, you know? So it's like,
Damn, people had beef.
yeah, like, oh my God, for what? I don't know. But like, it'd be like, oh, like the fight between these two, but like this number, like, oh, like this time when like this person did that. And it was just like almost like an extensive catalog. But it happened like throughout like middle school, but I feel like everyone chilled out a little bit more in like high school just because like there's more consequences. Like we had a cop like in the school.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, shit got a little bit more serious.
But like also like looking back, I feel like I would have got like I wish I would have gotten in like a fight or something because like what the fuck, like now the consequences are like exponential, but like back then like you're just like just fuck it, do it, like what are they gonna do, you know? But yeah.
Dude, so I almost got into a fight. So my friends like to remind me of this.
Because of your girlfriend?
No, like this is the stupidest fucking story. Like I don't even know. I'm embarrassed to tell the story, but
Okay.
basically what had happened. There's this other kid at the school. We're gonna call him Robert, right? So
Okay.
Robert, kid's fucking crazy. Like he's just like something's wrong with him. Maybe he's seen some shit, you know what I mean? But like he's over here throwing shit at teachers and whatnot. Like that's the kind of kid that this
like
is.
unruly. Okay.
Problematic ass kid.
Right.
And he looks problematic, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right, like whatever.
I'm not gonna
We're
cross
just
paths
not
with
right.
him.
We're just not like talking or whatever.
Right.
And so this girl who was part of my friend group was dating him at the time. And this girl was also, I feel like we were all very we were like being, how do I say this? Like I'll just tell the story. So
Okay.
so one day, this girl and my other friend who was with her, they Skyped me, right? So they were on Skype, and this girl was like, "Hey, want to see something?" I'm like, "Sure," and she flashed me over Skype, right?
Oh,
so like this is like
shit.
that time. This was like when we were in 8th grade too. So like that's what I'm saying. Like that was the age where like everybody started like knowing shit and like started getting into all this. So that's the girl whose boyfriend was Robert's girlfriend did that.
What?
Right. So
Stop.
literally, like, I don't know why. Like, my friends clown me and say, like, why would you like ask her to do that? I'm like, I didn't ask her to do anything. Like, she literally like just did it. They were like, hey, want to see something? They called me and just did it. And it was like it was funny and it was like whatever, you know. I didn't think anything of it at the time. I didn't think this was gonna like
You didn't think it was gonna be like problematic.
reach other people, right? Because like
Right.
if she's doing this, obviously, why would she want this other person to know?
Right.
So
Did you not think like, oh my gosh, if like my boyfriend finds out, like he might kill Jason?
maybe it was all a plan. Maybe it was all
a
a plan.
Yeah.
And so the next day I go to school. Maybe it was the next day. Maybe it was like a week after. But eventually he found out, and he I'm guessing like I don't even know. Like I guess he just told everybody like, hey, like after school I'm gonna beat Jason's ass, and like that's it. And like his boys were like looking at me in the hallways, and like people were just telling me like, hey, did you hear this? Like this is going on. And me being the kid who I am, like fucking Harry Potter ass Yu-Gi-Oh playing Pokemon kid, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, bro, I don't know how to fight. Like I watch like the WWE, like I might know something, but I don't know like anything, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm low-key kind of like worried, like what is going on? But I can't look like that. I can't look like I'm scared, you know?
You called Pedro. Oh, help me. You're like asking for those like gang banging friends. Get little Mikey.
I don't think this was probably. I think this was like 7th grade. So I had a couple of those friends, but not at that. Not yet. So I couldn't ask anyone for help. My friends were the same as me, you know. I mean, I'm like, fuck.
They were the ones playing Yu-Gi-Oh with you.
Exactly. So yeah, so like the day just keeps on passing and passing, and I'm here with like this like knot in my stomach. I'm like, dude, what am I to expect? Like,
you get there and you like throw up.
I'm like nervous. I'm
Oh
fucking
my
nervous. I'm like, fuck, all right, I guess this is really happening. But the thing is, like, I didn't want my parents to find out that it was happening because like my mom's very dramatic and is going to come to the school and like press charges on this kid. Like, I'm not trying to do all that, right?
Right.
The thing is, so like my block, the block behind me, my parents had friends on that block, and so like they would switch off like babysitting or like picking up each other's kids, and so like my friend's mom, who was our babysitter person, was waiting for us at the end of the block. And so we usually walk that way because she's waiting for the other kids at the elementary school. So like as the big kids, you know, we walk over there to her. And that was the point, like that block radius
Oh shit.
was where this all went down.
Or like this fight was supposed to happen.
Right, 'cause you cross the
between
street.
you and your babysitter. The fight in the middle.
Yeah. And so we crossed the street because like that's when you're technically off of school property, and that's when like people just throw
Oh
hands.
shit.
And this huge ass group of people just start to like follow us, and I'm just like,
That's
oh
just
my
so
god,
ugly.
it's so
I can only
embarrassing, bro. It
imagine
is so
yeah.
embarrassing because you don't know how it feels until like you're that person who everyone's surrounding and just like
shit.
looking at. And as a kid, like I was a crier. Like I get mad and like I cry.
Oh,
I wasn't like crying
no.
because I was upset or scared. Like I'm furious at this point. Like bro, like get the fuck away from me. Like what do you like? Like go talk to your girl. Like don't talk to me.
Right.
And I'm just like furious, and I'm like, fuck, man. If I fight this kid, I know I'm gonna cry, and like I don't want to cry
Oh my
because like people are
God.
gonna think like that's the reason why I'm crying. And so now he's standing in my way. So I can't go any further. So now he's standing in my way. and he's like, or maybe like there's someone in between us and he's behind that person. Like this could like someone just assigned themselves the fucking ref or something. I don't fucking know. And so so his boys in the back, Robert's getting ready like like pacing
Throw
back
hands.
and forth and shit.
Stop.
And I'm like, bro, this kid's fucking crazy. Like what the fuck? And so my friend, who was the daughter of my babysitter, she was grabbing my arm and like, here, like, let's go. Like, I'll move these kids. Like, they're not gonna do anything to me. And so she's trying to like, so she's pulling me away, and they get in my way again. And then like, I'm pretty sure he pushes me, and that's when she grabs my arm again and takes me and like just goes around. And then I have a couple of like two more friends of mine like were helping me get away from that
From the
group.
guy.
Right. From the guy. And that was it. Like that was literally the end of that. And we just walked all the way back and we never talked about it after that. And that was it. And after that he never tried to like do anything again. His boys like, they didn't try to do anything. It's a funny story. One of his boys who was helping him, he's one of my like best friends now, because like we
dead.
so
you got
we
the
ended
intel on the other side.
so he would tell me like how crazy like Robert was, and just like
Oh,
really his
shit.
ass like he wanted to kill you, and I was like, what the fuck?
What
I'm
the
fucking
fuck?
12 years old. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, yeah, and for like now we're like amazing friends. Now Robert, I don't know what the fuck Robert's been on, but
He's probably in jail now.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know, but that was like the only time I've been in like a situation like that. And then that's when I was super excited to start training for MMA and like kickboxing and all that stuff, because
I'm
like,
gonna find you, Robert.
Nothing
I'm gonna
imagine.
beat your ass.
because I like the competitive part of it, but like fighting someone on the street, like in like what I mean, that shit is dangerous. People
Right.
don't know their boundaries. Like there's
It's
you
like
land and hit your head on on the concrete,
yeah,
you're fucking dead.
like zero rules, like everything's
And then people get their ass beat and then come back with a gun. Do you know what I mean? Like shit like
Yeah.
that happens because their ass is embarrassed.
shit.
That happens too. So that
Spooky
shit's
stuff.
scary.
Robert would have pulled a gun on your ass.
My babysitter catches the bullet.
Stop. The babysitter's daughter is like swerving the bullets trying to save you.
Fuck. But yeah,
Dang.
that was like my biggest like. That was like a pivotal point from my childhood right there.
Dang. Good times. I remember like in middle school, I don't even think it was like too much in middle school. Maybe it was like more like high school. I was always very like confrontational. I feel like I still am. Very confrontational. Like I won't like start anything, but like if it comes to me and like basically like have to set the record straight, like I'll just like go up to the person and be like, what the fuck is up, but I never like got into the situation where like it might have gone as far as like a fight, but I did like the confrontation, And there's a couple times where like, and I was a crier. Like I was definitely, and I don't know, I don't think it was because I was, like you were saying, like angry, or like if it's because I'm a Pisces, or that's just, like, that's just who I am. Like I'm just like a crier. Like to this
It
day,
just
like I'm
comes
just
out,
a
right?
crier. Yeah. But yeah, like I would be obviously like nervous for the confrontation, because like I'd be like, oh my god, like I don't want to cry, you know, but like I would do it anyways, and it would be okay. Like I would literally like be kind of shaking and like whatever, but like I would still like, no, like I have to do this, and I would
Yeah.
still do it, you know. But there was a couple times, like literally up until like my senior year of high school, where like there was like some confrontation, because like I didn't really do anything. Like I wasn't like trying to
Between
fight
you and
anyone,
like classmates and shit.
yeah. Like I would only like really chill with my friends and like shit like that. But like I will say, like I've always had like an attitude, I guess, like growing up and like in high school, like I had an attitude, so like it most likely rubbed people the wrong way. So like that's when like confrontation would happen.
What do you mean by
shit like
attitude?
that. Like I don't know, like I just wouldn't like take, like when people would like clown me and stuff like that, I'd be like, fuck you, like whatever. Like I just had like a bad attitude. And I will say that like after that, like I literally recognized that sometimes like I was mean and like I was kind of a bitch like back then, but I'm like, it's okay, like I forgive myself, you know. Like I think it was just like very situational. Like I don't know. It was just like very situational. And I was like, you know what? That was like really ugly of me. And like, I don't want to like carry that on for like the rest of my life, you know? So I was like, it's okay. It's going to be okay.
I get you.
But yeah, like, what was I saying?
You had a couple confrontations all the way up to high school.
Yeah, like all the way up until like senior year. This one's going to be a funny one because like, my senior year, I ran for prom queen.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed
Right?
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, but get this. Okay, so like my sister, like we're 3 years apart, like all of us. So when we got to high school, since it's 4 years, we got to be with each other for 1 year. So I was a freshman when my sister was a senior, and she like got like nominated for like homecoming queen or something, and like that just wasn't heard of. Like everyone that like wins is like a white girl, like the popular like jock girl, like whatever. And like same with like the guy, right? So like when that happened to my sister, I was like, wow. And like everyone was like, wow, like that's really cool. She ended up like runner up, but it was cool because like she still got to like be in the parade and like get presented and stuff, and it was really cool. So I remember like all the way up until like my senior year, it was like, oh, like people are going to be like nominating. So like before, you had to like write down names of people for those people to get nominated. And then from the nominations, you would vote who would win. So it was almost like a 3-step process. And I remember talking to my friends like, dude, wouldn't it be cool, but like also wouldn't it be funny if like someone that's like not the norm would win, you know? Because like we almost like knew who was gonna win, like the popular white girl, the popular white guy, whatever. And we just wanted to like I just wanted to like disrupt the norm. So I was always a jokester to this day, and I was like, let's just do it in a way that it's like funny, you know? But maybe that also I did that just so like if I didn't win or like whatever, like no feelings would be hurt, like whatever, you
Like
know?
you know that's the reason why you did it? Or maybe that's why you did it.
Did what?
Like you
Or
made it,
I made it funny.
you made it
No, I
funny.
wanted to make it funny because
like
I
you
was a
genuinely
jokester.
wanted to
Yeah.
make it funny. Okay.
And so we did that, and like I remember my friends were like, yeah, cool, let's do it, right? And we like printed out like a bunch. This was when like memes were like first becoming a thing, you know. This is very like early meme time.
Willy
And
Wonka, like those memes.
shit like that, like that was
Yeah.
almost like going out, like that was a little earlier, but like still same concept. Like it wasn't as
Okay.
developed as like it is today. But we like printed out like a meme, and it was like, oh, like nominate Jackie for like prom queen, some shit like that, and we would put them everywhere, and like people thought they were funny, right? And then like there's some people that would like take it down because they'd be like, what the
they're
fuck?
so
Yeah.
ugly.
And I would be like, whatever, like if you take it down, like whatever, I'll just put another one up. And that was going on. And then I don't think they liked that. Like I don't think those groups of like kids, the sporty kids, like I don't think they liked that.
Because they're taking this shit so serious, and you're over here.
Well, like
putting out
no one was
memes.
taking it serious because everyone knew what was going to happen almost. So like when there was like a little threat, they were like, wait. And oh shit, sorry.
Sounds about white. Sounds about.
But there was that, and then yeah, like one day they were gonna like announce like who was nominated and stuff, and I made the cut. Like me and these like other girls like made the cut, right? And we were like, oh shit. But at that point, when people were like nominating like people, other girls were like, wait, like you're doing this, like I'm also gonna do this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they would put up like their own posters, or like they would talk to their people and be like, hey, like vote for whoever. So like there was more competition than like the other girls.
The
but
usual.
but I was never like really pressed because I'm like, dude, like as long as it's not the norm, I'm happy. Like I don't care. Like literally anyone could possibly win, and I just didn't want it to be the regular people. So I was like, this is kind of cool. So then it came time to like announce like the nominees, and I made it. And like all these other girls that you just wouldn't have expected also made it. And it was pretty cool. And then I remember after I got nominated, me and my friends were like, we have to step it up. Like the memes were dope, but like we have to step it up one more time. And because like the rest of the people are going to do like whatever they do. And like we just got to step it up. And we came up with like making like a vote for Jackie buttons.
What?
Yes. It was wild. It was so fun because like it was really fun for me because I got to do it with my friends, you know? And we like went to the store. I think we went to like Michael's or something, and we got like, it was like super shitty. Like we weren't going to spend a shit ton of money. So like I remember like I went and printed out, because like my friend got like bags of like the little wooden buttons with like the little like metal thing in the back. And we just had to like Mod Podge like a piece of paper on top for it to like be the button. And I remember going into like the lab and like printing out like just a shit ton of like little like the images. And the image, this was the time when like Northwest was just born, and she had like a couple memes of her coming out, and like it was one that had like a little growl face that she was doing, and it said like a vote for Jackie. And
dude, I love this story. I love this story.
And yeah, we like Mod Podge them, like we cut them out, we like glued them on and stuff. And we had like two or three like bags, and like people were gonna give them out, like my friends and stuff. And like people would like wear them and like put them on their backpacks and stuff. I'm like, that shit was so funny to me. And it was pretty cool. But like I did hear like people like throwing shit away of mine, and like just like saying shit, right? I'm like, whatever, right? Like this shit is fun. This shit is
It wasn't
funny.
bothering you at all.
Right. And then I remember, this is where the whole conversation started, or like what we were talking about, was that I remember this one girl that was my friend. She was on the girls' soccer team. But she was also like my friend, like obviously. And then she would sit with them during lunch, and she was saying that like, oh, this girl was saying, hey, let's vote for our teammate. And or like, who are you guys gonna vote for? And she was saying like, oh, this girl, she was like, oh, like I don't care, like as long as Jackie doesn't win, something like that, something along the lines of like me not winning. And like the girl was like, oh, like basically like she doesn't like you, you know? And I was like, what the fuck? Like she's talking shit.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, no, like I'm not gonna let anyone talk shit. So I I really like, and I think I've always been like this, where I want to verify my sources. Like, I'm not about to, like, I'm going to confront you, but I'm not going to look like a dumb bitch. So, like, I'm verifying the sources, like, oh, like, did you hear this? Like, I went to the girl and I was like, hey, did you hear the girl say it? And she was like, yeah. And I think I went to this other girl and like was like, oh, like, did she say this? And she's like, yeah. So like I had a couple sources like that verified like that this shit was facts, right? And I remember telling my friend, I was like, bet, like, that's it. Like, that's all I need. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna go. And it was like some day like we had gym because I think she was like she had to have been in like my gym hour. And I was like, but we weren't in the same gym class, I don't think. And then I think it was like you had to pick your unit, like what you wanted to do. I wonder if it was like a Friday or something.
Okay,
I don't know.
yeah.
Where you like you pick to do like a certain game.
They lay out like a
Whatever.
bunch of different equipment and like you get to play whatever you want. Yeah.
And then I don't know if I knew what she was gonna pick, but we ended up being on the same unit, right? I'm like, perfect. Like, this is like a good opportunity. And like, it was like me and my friend, and I think we were playing floor hocky. And I remember like, I think like after, no, but she was going hard as shit. Like she was going hard as shit. Like we were playing each other. And like, I remember, I think I scored a goal like on their team and they were pressed. And I'm like, okay, like that wasn't like, I'm not even good at gym. Let's chill. And at the end of the hour, I remember I was like, hey, and I called her over and she was like trying to walk out all fast, right? And I called her over and she's like, what? And I was like, oh, like I heard you were saying like, whatever. She was like, no, like I never said that. And I was like, no, like you did. Like this person told me and like this person told me. Why would they lie? And she was like, no, like I didn't say that. And like
your hands are like shaking
yeah,
right now.
but like I could feel the girl getting kind of nervous too. And then I was like, I don't want this to escalate into like what, a fight? Like I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, she like ended up leaving and
just saying that she didn't say that.
Yeah, she like denied the whole thing. And yeah, after that, like I didn't really hear from her again, like nothing.
And if you're still listening to this, I know you did it. I know you did say it.
You know what? Like I think a couple years later, like I went past her like Twitter on like suggested, and I'm like blocked.
Stop.
Yeah. But I had my Twitter since like 2011, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, so and she's probably had it since then too.
Probably.
Okay.
But like, I wonder if she blocked me since high school, since that incident, you know, because I never like I didn't even know she had like a page still or something, like until I saw it and I was like, oh, and I clicked it and I was like blocked and I was like, oh. But
she's gonna listen to this episode.
I don't care. But I just think it was like a funny story. Because it was kind of shithead of me to do that. I really didn't have to do that.
What, confront her about it?
Yeah.
Why not?
I feel like I didn't have to. Like now.
Well, you said it with like, you didn't go in with the tone of like, you're going to beat her ass. Like, you wanted to just know why.
Yeah. I was
right?
like, well, I know that you're saying this or whatever. But she denied it. But in the end, I didn't end up winning. The girl that was on the soccer team.
You didn't win the floor hockey game?
No, I don't. What the fuck? I don't remember. I didn't end up winning prom queen, but the girl that was on the soccer team who like I knew, you know, and she was super cool. Like she ended up winning and like I was pumped and like it was just cool because like the other people didn't win. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like me and that girl, we're cool to this day. Like sometimes like she sends me a message and stuff and we're like, hey, like, you know, hope you're doing well. But
that's so
me
cool.
and that girl like never had beef, but
And would that girl have won without you? Like if you never would have first put your meme out there and to like vote for Jackie?
I don't think so. That's a good
Shit
point.
like that probably carries. She's gonna remember that for like ever. Forever, dude.
But I just thought it was like a really cool thing. That was like one of the coolest things I think I did.
That's cool.
You know?
That's definitely cool. I can't remember like me being part of my high school experience like that, where like I made a huge impact to the whole student body, but that's cool that you got.
That was like my little contribution to
that's
that.
Awesome, dude.
But it was pretty cool. My friends had a good time doing it, and it was fun.
That's awesome.
Good times.
How many people were ended up being in your graduating class?
I don't remember, but I knew I know that you know how like you got like a student ranking like at the way end. I think there was like maybe like 100 or like maybe a little more than 100.
So the people from the middle school just carried over to the high school? Is that the way it worked for you guys, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody been with each other for at least 6 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then like I mean we had like little transfer students and like just here and there, but like it was mainly those just because like that's who lived in the area. It went by like who lived in the area, not by like application system or anything like that. So those were just like the kids that ended up coming.
Did your sister being there help you a lot?
Which one?
Your older sister. Like, were you, like, people already knew you as her sister?
No.
It
My
wasn't like
sister
that?
was like
You said a senior when you were a freshman
she was
now.
a senior, but people didn't really like know her like that. Yeah. I mean, like teachers would be like, they would know her kind of because she was a good student. But they wouldn't recognize me. They wouldn't be like, oh, like you're like so and so's sister. Because like she wasn't outspoken. She wasn't like.
You guys kept to yourself for the most part?
Yeah.
Or she kept
did.
to herself?
She did. And I would just kind of fuck around with my friends. But we weren't bad kids, but we weren't like the quiet ones, you know? Like that.
Yeah. Feel you.
But I wonder if like my succession ended up like with my little sister. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if like when my little sister went to high school, like if she was called out or not for like, oh, you're so and so.
Right.
I don't know. Who knows?
You're the sister of the girl who got rid of the
plague. I'm just
plague.
kidding. Good times.
So I told you yesterday that my cousin found the podcast, right?
Oh shit, yeah.
And so for the people who've been listening for a couple episodes now, I feel like they probably understand like maybe the situation in the family, kind of not, but like in my family, weed just isn't looked at as like the way we see it, you know? And I feel like that's why I enjoy doing this podcast, because I feel like we're also breaking that whole like talk and whatnot, you know, making Hispanics comfortable with the idea of weed. And so this can go one of two ways. So either this is like one of my cool cousins, like she's chill, she keeps to herself, whatever, and like we always got along, and she can just either keep it to herself or like tell her mom's cool, and her brother, they're all cool, you know, it's a cool family. And so I'm not like afraid that they know about the podcast or like about me smoking weed, because I don't think any of my extended family knows yet, but my immediate family knows. So this is like the first instance where like my extended family is finding out that I smoke. And it's like they could go one of two ways. One, it can just like end there and like she just knows about it and that's it. Or maybe she like mentions it over like lunch or dinner to her mom, and then her mom tells like this person, and ends up getting back to my parents.
Right.
I think it's gonna end up getting back to my parents, and I'm like trying to like prepare for that moment, and low key it might have already. This happened last night, so my cousin followed me last night, or like the TikTok, and when I got home last night, my parents were awake, and I don't know. My mom asked me. This was like at 10:30 too. So like by then my parents are sleeping, and like my mom asked me like, "Oh, like, what are you doing in the morning tomorrow?" And so, yeah, kind of like out of nowhere. And I'm like, "What are you doing tomorrow?" Or she's like, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like I have to go work in the morning and then just like come back and be here basically the rest of the day because I got new furniture from IKEA. So I'm gonna want to build it, and so whatever. And so this morning I go downstairs and she's on the couch, right? My mom.
¿A dónde vas? ¿Y con quién? ¿Hacer qué?
Well, she knows I come here with you actually in the mornings. Like when I leave the houses early in the week, she knows. And I don't know. I might just be like paranoid. Maybe I just felt that she feels that she knows something's up or whatever. But because I don't know if they know that I do a podcast. I don't think they know that at all. And they also probably don't think that like when I come here I smoke. You know what I mean? So whatever. So she doesn't say anything. I walk out the door and like that's it. So like I don't think she knows. Maybe she does. Maybe she's waiting until when I have more time just to like talk to me about it. Because at this point, it's not like my parents can be like, stop smoking. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
whatever. Or like I don't know. They worry about my family's opinions, which like I understand. But like I'm probably gonna tell them like, dude, honestly, like I don't mind having this conversation with any of my family, with my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, like anybody. I'll have this conversation with any of them. And like I'm not gonna get upset at them for basically like telling other people in the family that like I smoke and I do this. Like I want to get upset with them, but like I can't. Because the reason why they don't even like weed in the first place is because of the way it's been shown throughout,
Right.
you know, all the conditioning and shit. So like it's not their fault, but also I just want them to know like it's not affecting me in any way. You know what I mean? That people usually think it affects them because they think it's like the gateway drug. You're gonna wake up and want to do fucking
You're gonna wake up and do
heroin
crack.
Want to do crack, right? And they're like, bro, like I don't want to do any of that. Like, trust me. And yeah, I think like eventually I'll probably update the podcast in like a week or two and let you guys know how that conversation goes because that
Whoa.
conversation is definitely gonna come. And I think it's important to talk about stuff like this because I can't imagine how many other people are going through this. Where like they're 18, you know, they're first generation kids, and you know they found weed or they found whatever it is, and this conversation that's gonna have to come up. But I think it's gonna be a good conversation with my parents.
My parents, well, at least my mom. I don't think my dad really. Not that he doesn't care, but I don't think he paid like too much attention to like what I was saying. But like my mom definitely knows that like I record, like I do a podcast. Like they don't know of like what specifically. Well, like I tell them like, oh, like it's just like stories or like whatever, and like they know about like the whole like you know we're trying to be like a Latino ran podcast, like all that stuff. Like they know that. They don't know that like I come here and I smoke Girl Scout cookies right here. But I don't know. Like I don't know if or when that would come up. You know? And if it did, I really don't think that like they'd bug out.
But I think your mom said like I don't know if she was joking or not, but she said that like just don't be putting out the family business out there like that.
Yeah.
That's like probably the only.
Yeah.
I can see that why people are gonna get upset at that, but I think as long as I keep that out of it, then yeah, like same. Like I don't think my parents would really care at this point.
Right. Dang. And like I did tell, she was like, oh, like when it comes on to Pandora, like let me know because she still uses Pandora. And I'm like, oh, okay, mom. And like when we got verified, I was like, fuck, no.
That's why you told me not to do it. You're like, bro, Pandora's for
Pandora's
boomers.
sus,
You're like
dude.
Pandora for boomers.
But yeah, maybe she will. And I don't even think she'd get like pressed. Like if she weren't to see the YouTube videos, I don't think she would like be pressed. I think she would only be pressed that I like swear on here. You know, she'd be like, eso mala educación, like eres bien mal hablada, like, and I think I'm like more nervous for that. Like honestly. Like, dude, fuck, what was the word? Remember we were talking about like, like if you were like Hispanic and like you weren't able to swear in your house, like we couldn't say shut up, like we couldn't say stupid, like
hell
that was
didn't exist
hell
too.
was
Hell
no.
was like on the top tier list.
Remember when we were like, oh, like what was like the worst thing? And I said like, oh, like you're being so disgusting. I also think it was like annoying. Like you're literally being so annoying right now. And like that was like the worst of it. Like we couldn't say anything more. I don't know how my parents knew though.
About these words?
Yeah, well, like my dad like works at a factory, and like he comes home and like swears in English, and I'm like, okay, I know you know because of there. So I wonder if my mom also. I mean, they work at the same place, so I wonder if she also picked up on that. But
we got away with some words because of that reason. Like my parents just weren't aware of the words, so I think "shut up" was like. I think it depends on like in the situation. Yeah, like in the situation, like if you're saying it out of anger, then it's like, yo, like
what is that? I know it's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think annoying definitely was another one where we can get away with it because they didn't know that one. But
and like if they did, it would be like, what would it be in like Spanish? Like fastidioso.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. We really had to sneak it out. But we wouldn't swear, like me and my sisters, like we wouldn't swear to each other. Like to this day, I try really hard not to. Like, and if I do on accident, like it's never to them. It's very like conversational, and I apologize. I'm
You
like,
can
oh my
feel
God.
it in the room, right?
Yeah,
Like when
I'm
you
just
say
like,
it.
wait, because I have to like think back. Like, oh my God, like I just said fuck, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so sorry, but yeah.
There was a time period where this was like 2015 maybe. That's when I think my brothers were getting comfortable around each other and started swearing around each other, just like here and there. And to me, dude, my eyes went like wide. I'm like, oh my God, like this is like we're entering
And
that
then
stage
they looked
now,
at each
huh?
other and they were like, see, I told you Jason would be fucking cool with it.
But yeah, that was like that period of time that started to happen where we were swearing around each other. But to this day, I can't do it. I'm just like it just doesn't feel
It doesn't
right.
come out naturally or
Mm-mm.
anything. I don't think it
Exactly.
could with me. Does it to them though? Like, does it come out naturally to them?
Sometimes, yeah, I feel like, yeah, probably if they're doing it,
Oh
yeah.
shit. Dang.
No, yeah, definitely.
Dude, I think it's scary.
That what, like swearing in front of your sibling?
Like more like swearing in front of my parents. Sometimes like when me and my boyfriend go home and like we see my parents, like I'm talking to him and like I swear, but like sometimes I try to whisper so I don't swear in front of them. But it's fine. It's okay. I remember this one time when I was like, yeah, I think I was like going into high school. And like, I don't know what the fuck, this is gonna be funny, but I was feeling really bold. Like, I was tired of being like tied down. Like, I want to say what I want, you know, I'm being fucking angsty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to talk to my dad to ask permission if I could swear. But like I remember getting into the car with him like multiple times. Like I'm gonna tell him I swear. I'm gonna tell him like I'm gonna start swearing. And every single time, like I'd muster up the courage. Like I could never do it, and I never brought it up.
That's
But, like,
awesome that you wanted to tell your dad. Like, I mean, like what
Yeah.
kid does that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I didn't. I was pussy to this day.
So you just wanted like permission? Is that really all you're looking for?
Yeah. Like I didn't want to get in trouble
Mm.
for like sometimes like saying stuff.
Dad,
Dad, chinga su ma- Because like I knew like him growing up as a kid, like he would always like say shit like that. Like my dad's always been like a huge potty mouth, you
wait,
know?
so it's never slipped. You've never slipped a swear word around your dad.
I don't think ever my dad.
So
Sometimes my mom.
what do you think
yeah.
his reaction would be today?
I think he would just be shocked, but like he wouldn't care. He'd just be like, oh, "What'd you say?" Okay, I guess. But yeah, no. But I'm still like I'm scared. But
There was one time we were eating at IHOP, and Pedro, I think we were talking about like Fiesta del Sol or something like that, and how it just like gets worse and worse each year with the violence.
really, I went once.
It's just like
It
always
was like a couple
there's
years
always
ago.
a shooting all
Really?
the time. Mm-hmm.
Well, like we went really early because like we didn't want to be out at night.
Yeah, that probably explains why. Yeah, it's always at night.
It was cool, but then at night we were like, yeah, we should probably go. We didn't live too far, or my boyfriend didn't live far.
Morning's probably a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we were talking about it, and I don't know, we're just talking about like, you know, the gangueros and everybody who like gets around and shit. And then
The kings.
Pedro slips up and he's like, yeah, pinches gangueros, like something like that, bro. He was like, what, like I don't even know the age, like 21, like something like 20.
No way.
Yeah, bro. And he's like pinches, and he just like slips out, and then like you saw the moment where he realized like, oh shit, I'm not where I think I am, and he just like he's like oh, shit. And we just started busting out. We were
Like your whole family?
Yeah, we're just laughing. And my mom's
my
like,
God.
my mom's shocked. She's like,
Does she say anything though? Like, no digas eso.
no, I don't think they ever said that.
Oh. But it was just funny.
It was just hilarious. My parents were just like both in shock too, and my dad was kind of laughing, but like he took a drink of his water when he heard that. You know, what I mean? Like, he was shocked.
Shit. Do your parents does your dad swear though?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he can't say shit.
No,
He'd be like,
definitely not.
oh, you probably got it from me. You
Yeah,
know?
my dad swears, my mom swears too.
Really,
Like
my
at
mom tries
us,
really
you
hard
know what I
not
mean?
to. Like sometimes, like conversationally, like if it comes up, like oh, like this person said, like pinche vieja, like
Uh-huh.
she'd say it like
And it
that.
shocks you, right? It's like,
Not
really? No, you don't think
really.
so?
Some a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it has a little shock value, but like it's like it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's wild.
The other day I was in the living room with my mom, and she has a plant that she's had it for 10 years, and it's just in the corner of the staircase.
Hmm.
And it's in that spot she wants to buy a new plant. I think it's fine. In that spot she wants to buy a new plant to replace that one. And I'm like, where are you gonna put that one at? And she's like walking up to the plant and like, like cleaning it or whatever. And it's like, oh, I'll probably move it over there to that corner. And I'm like, you don't think like that plant's gonna be offended that you change its spot and like now it's not getting like the same sunlight and shit. And then she looked at me and she's like, I don't care. Like she's in a move where I tell her to move. Like I've been taking care of her ass the last 10 years. Like and she's gonna like it there. And it was like, dude, it's hilarious. That I wasn't expecting that. She's like, what's she gonna do? Run away?
What is she gonna do? Die? Honestly, she might though.
Yeah.
She might. Dude, I'm telling you, some plants are just like super petty. They're just super petty.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
They're dramatic.
For real. Stop. My boyfriend got me that one over there for my birthday. And I mean, it's the same as the big one.
The one to the left?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. But these are like the most non-problematic, like super chill plants. A monstera, super chill. You should get one. They're pretty easy.
I do want a plant for the new space upstairs.
Like what kind of plant?
I have no idea.
I really wanted to put some plants in like my studio, but there's like hella fumes from like my boyfriend's like oil paints and shit. I'm like, they're gonna fucking die in here.
How's the other one doing?
In the closet. That one's not getting any fumes because it's like in the closet, but I think it's fine. I think it's just like taking its time to grow its little buds, but she's starting to smell.
How much longer now?
I don't know. I would say like maybe 3 weeks. I feel like she's a little slow. I don't know why. I don't know if I should be like doing something, but like I know I'm not supposed to be like adding nutrients or anything. Like it's
at this point is
yeah,
just leave it up to them.
because then like if I add nutrients, like it gives off like a chemically taste.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Which is why in like the last weeks you're supposed to like flush the soil out of all the nutrients. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think it just needs to be watered or something.
That's awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Dude, I'm gonna smoke the first smoke on the pod. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
That's gonna be
Wow.
awesome. It's like 3 to 4 weeks, right?
Yeah,
Around there?
somewhere around there.
Cool.
You guys will be the first to know. Damn, imagine
What was the
I
name
take
of it though?
It
was such a good name. You wrote it down.
I wrote it down, I know for sure. Oh, what didn't we say it was like Chernobyl gas? Fuck. Such a good name. That's such a good name.
You just see if it exists, right? I doubt it exists.
Damn, I don't know. What if it exists in like fucking Russia? It already exists.
You're gonna get flagged for looking it up.
Oh shit, you're right. You're gonna make me disappear. But I'm really excited.
That's gonna be a fun episode. It's gonna be a good one. Dude, we gotta smoke. We gotta smoke like the whole joint though. Maybe that'll be like another like one of those like 30-minute ones because like we're gonna be a little like too gone. But
oh yeah, guys, it'd have to be like a little mini-sode. I feel like when shit is not going good, like it has to be short.
oh shit, man. Fuck.
We're trying to get some art on the wall for this like setup right now that we're starting to do video. So if you guys have any art you're trying to sell us, reach out to us. We in our reviews, our Instagram, like anything.
I put the email in the bio now.
Yeah. So everything you gotta know is in the bios of like the descriptions for the episodes. So if you guys want to reach out, we really want to put some stuff up there.
Yeah, dude, that would be raw.
We took the cows down and
That'd
the
be cool.
brain. I don't know if like people fucked with it, but like we had a brain and
I
cows
hope
on the
they
wall.
knew it was a brain.
What?
I hope they knew it was a brain.
Oh
like,
yeah,
maybe
I hope you
couldn't
guys knew it
tell.
was like a brain. It was a rigid brain.
That would be cool though for people to send in their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Pretty exciting.
that'd be cool.
But yeah.
I don't think we have any updates as far. We're almost to 3,000 downloads.
Right.
We
I
just
think we're
hit
hitting
2K.
targets for the New
Yeah.
Year's resolutions. Like we
Which
started
was,
doing
what's
we
the
started
other
doing
one?
video.
Yeah.
Right. And then that was like I think we said like we were gonna give it 3 months to start doing video as like New Year's resolution. And like I think it was in what, like two
Cool.
months?
Yeah, too.
Very cool. So I do remember the other one was like 10K by the end of the year. And we're about to hit 3.
It's only March.
And it's only March.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I forget the other stuff.
Yeah. It's we don't I'm only now realizing that with the video, even with now with the videos rolling out, like we're starting to reach a lot more people.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're experimenting
yeah, like
with some
that's a
marketing.
good way to put it, right?
you know?
So like we want to see what's other good ways to reach out to more people, but it's weird to see that the numbers are just consistently growing and more people are listening now. And to the people who are starting with us now, welcome. We appreciate having you.
Very fun.
Yeah,
Stick
hope
along.
you guys stay along. But I think this
Yep.
would be a good point to end this one. So thank you guys for joining us this week.
Thank
We
you
appreciate you
guys.
guys.